starting sometime around college, I had my first kind of episode, I guess, of depression, anxiety. I just kind of spun out, and I felt like I was just kind of going down this spiraling inward and downward, and just couldn't stop obsessing about stuff. I couldn't stop. And I reached out to a friend of mine who happened to be sober, and AA and that kind of thing. And I had been like a college kid, partying it up pretty good. So some of it had to do with that. Some of it was just something that just happened. And I was 22 years old or something, 21 years old. I didn't know what was happening. And so I sought help back then. And I got sober for about 3 years or so. Got my head clear, got clear on a number of things. So unfortunately, before all of that, I lost one of my best friends from high school. He died in a strange accident that was of his own making, and we kind of couldn't figure out if he actually meant to do it. I'm sitting with his mother. We're trying to figure out, did he mean to do this to himself, or was it just an accident? That was horrible to deal with. Horrible to watch her go through that. It was tough on me, obviously. I'm 21 years old or something. And then a few years later, the other best friend, there was like a trio of us, he and I had been pallbearers in this first friend's funeral, and he killed himself straight up. He was grappling with all kinds of trouble with, he was bipolar diagnosed, and I think he was on the wrong meds. Different conversation, because medication can't help, and I've been off and on over the years myself on some meds for OCD, depression, and it helped. Maybe not for everyone, I don't know, but so my experience in my early 20s going through that, and after my second friend took his life, I mean, I almost lost a year of my life and just being numb, being like, what? How have I lost my two best friends? They called me their best friends, and now they're dead. What kind of friend was I? And so that was very difficult. Another roommate of mine, he had a friend coming around that was trying to get clean and get sober, get straight, because he was kind of he used to rob cars and stuff. So this kid would come around and play chess. Great guy, And he slipped up and went out and tried to go steal a car, and the owner came out with a gun and said, "Freeze, don't move," and he said, "I can't go back to prison," and he ran, and the guy shot him in the back. So I'm going to that funeral. And that roommate who was friends with the guy, he later got into more trouble and got in and off with drugs and getting in jail. And he took his life. So I unfortunately have, and the list goes on and on of people that I've unfortunately known. And the thing about it is that I keep coming back to is it's so hard to talk about this stuff. It's so hard to be honest about it. It's hard to, you feel like a loser, or you feel sick, or you feel like you're damaged or something when you're going through it. And you don't notice it when other people are, because when you see them, they're doing great, or you wouldn't be seeing them out and about and whatever. Or they're just good at hiding it. That's the thing too. I think everybody gets really good at hiding what's really going on. Anywhere you are at, I can guarantee you, I have the people in there, they're just smiling and like, "Oh, doing great, good to be here," or not doing great. So if we were to open up a little bit more, it's like when someone has a cold, everyone knows it because they're sneezing and coughing, and you're like, "Oh, it sucks, hope you get better." And people having a weird day upstairs, or having a bad trip, or really going through something, we don't know how to talk about it. I don't know what the answer is there. I guess this is helping to some degree. If you're watching this, you're curious enough. And certainly Foundation 45 is trying to provide help us to learn to talk about this stuff, and to provide a place you can actually go, and they'll point you in the right directions.